So hey all, um, I am doing a vlog and a con report today, so I'm going to try to keep this relatively brief, but we'll see how it goes. Um, First thing is, of course, Thanksgiving is approaching. At the time I'm shooting this, it will probably air sometime. Well, I guess it's going to air some Monday. This one is probably going to come out Monday. So I guess technically it'll be before Thanksgiving. I don't know. Vlogs are usually pretty close to when I record them to when they get released. But anyway, Thanksgiving is approaching. I'm looking forward to the 4-day weekend. I hope everybody has some plans to be with somebody special, and if not, we're all still here together. We're all still here for you in spirit and all that. Um, but I hope that everybody has some place to go or something to do, or even if you just want to enjoy a day off or something. It's like holidays. They're days for us. Days for self-care. Even if all you have is just yourself, and that's still. You still can have something to enjoy and celebrate, and hopefully though you have some place to be, somewhere to be with. We're coworkers, friends, family members. For us, it'll probably just be a quiet Thanksgiving, as it has seemed to be the last couple of years, which is really isn't bad. I mean, sometimes I reflect and I kind of miss, when I was a kid and we would have like 20 people in the house, and we would usually be at either my house or my aunt's house, and we would all have turkey and stuff. But I mean, at the same time, and maybe it's just because I'm a little older, it's like I also kind of like, just having the turkey dinner and just the two of us, and just kind of not having to get dressed all day. Um, Maybe that's just whatever. But sometimes it's nice to just have a holiday where it's just like the only point is to hang around the house, eat, and do whatever you want for the day. But that being said, regardless, I hope that whatever your plans are, that you have a good Thanksgiving, and that you have a good meal, good friends, good family, good things. Um, and of course, we are coming up on the holiday season, which is going to be, I guess, a mixed bag for me a little bit this year, because things on the horizon could be really bad, could be okay, could be who knows. I don't really pretend to have any idea what's going on, which kind of, I guess, is the part that scares me a little. But at the very least, at least for now anyway, I'm better than I was, and I'm still going to keep doing all the things I'm doing, keep trying to promote all the things that I promote. Uh, you know, Tolerance, understanding, all that good stuff, and just to try and remind people that it's like life isn't a zero-sum game. It's like you don't have to make other people do things in order to make your life any different. It's just we're all on the same team, or at least we should be. We're also be pushing in the same direction, that make things better for as many people as possible. And I'm not going to get into it any more than that, because I don't want to push it that way. But just I'm going to try and see if I can't nudge things in a positive direction, just as a general principle. Just because that's kind of what I like to try and do. I'd like to still believe in the general goodness of people. I'd like to believe in the general positive nature of who I am, of who I things I want to believe in, that we that there are lines we don't cross, and a few of them have kind of been crossed in the last 10 years, that are things I really would never have thought would have been. And it's not all for any particular thing, but it's just one of those things that's like I'm holding on to what I can hold on to, because even if I can't rely on things outside of me, I can still rely on the things that I do, and the things that I stand for, and the things that I try and do. And it's like I'd also like to say that if anybody wants to know more about being transgender or transgender people, it's like I would be happy to try and explain my point of view or perspective on that sort of thing. It's like I don't necessarily want to be I don't know if proselytize is the same word. It's like I'm not looking to necessarily convert anybody or anything like that, but just a lot of the reasons why things in this world are problems is because people just don't know. And they don't know how to broach those conversations. They don't know who to ask or who to go to. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm an expert on being trans or any of that, but I can just tell you what my experience is and just kind of address those kinds of topics if anybody has any thoughts on that. And maybe, you're just the kind of person that will click onto this video and probably have stopped watching by now. But if you're the kind of person that, like me, I try and keep an open mind about things that I don't understand, even if it's not something I am cool with. It's like I don't begrudge anybody else for doing a lot of the things that I don't care about, like sports. I don't get sports. I am not a sports person. But if you love sports, I'm happy for you, and I really want you to really enjoy that as much as you can. But if I wanted to talk or learn about sports, it's like there are people that I probably could ask. And so this is just that kind of offer. It's like if you're interested in learning more, uh, you know, just feel free, because I've heard some things about bathroom bills and about bathroom laws and so on and so forth. And I can just say this much: it's like nobody, at least as far as a trans person goes, like I don't really care. I mean, so far as it's like I'm just there to use the bathroom, take care of what I got to do, and leave. It's like I'm not interested in doing anything. And it's just a bathroom. It's just, I mean, it really shouldn't matter to anybody, because it's like we're not looking to make anybody uncomfortable. I'm not looking to make anybody uncomfortable. I'm just looking to use the bathroom, and that's really all there is to it. I mean, I'm sure there's other things, and there's probably a longer discussion than I care to have at this particular point. But I'm just to put it out there. It's not. Um, I want to respect everybody and everybody else's viewpoints, but I also just want people to realize that, a lot of these things, they're not as big of an issue as you might think that they would be. And I can understand that people necessarily. It's like, I mean, I've always thought that there was a good argument for unisex bathrooms, because it's just like, hey, it's all basically the same plumbing. We need to basically duplicate everything just because people don't like using the bathroom with the other gender, which I can understand to some degree, for sure. But it's just, but at the same time, it just, at least in terms of just, taking everything else out of it, just thinking about the sheer logical mechanics of it, it's like it would make sense for everybody everywhere to just have one bathroom. And then we would probably save all of these resources that we wouldn't need to spend on making a men's room and a women's room. Now, of course, there's, you know, this is not that argument. This is just the whole thinking just strictly logical about materials. That's it. But yes, it's like I absolutely understand that. I don't blame women for being not wanting to be in a bathroom with men, and or vice versa. And it's like, and that's a whole nother argument. But just strictly speaking on the logic, it's like there's some bathrooms in my building that are just single person bathrooms, and it's just like clearly whoever goes in to use them uses the bathroom. And in people's houses, it's like we don't have a men's room and a ladies' room. We just have a bathroom. So this is just the kind of things that pop into my head sometimes. That being said, moving on to other things, because I apologize that I basically spent 8 minutes talking about random things. But writing news. Okay, so I'm working right now on Winterfall 3, just to try and get myself working on something new, because I just have been editing Winterfall 1. I still have to edit Winterfall 2. And I still want to get Winterfall out by the time that the winter is still winter, for a number of reasons. Because I need to get something out, because I need to publish something, and because I need to just get to that point where, at the very least, I want to be able to say I published something, and I can quiet some of the voices that pop up when other people publish things. Because, I mean, it's not that I begrudge anybody their progress or anybody else their success, but it's like I always just kind of, to quiet the voices in my head, usually just kind of put things off. And, just I end up, it's very hard for me to focus as it is. And I would have had this book out a year ago if not for needing to make a lot of edits, which admittedly I haven't focused the whole year on, but that's kind of part of the problem. Dividing my attention, focusing on things, and it just kind of gets complicated sometimes. But I do thank the folks that gave me notes, because I do think it's a better product. Um, I'm trying to finish the edits on the last couple of chapters. I don't think I'm going to make too many changes to the rest of it just because I want to get this done. And I think that while I could spend the rest, next 5 years editing it until it's like a perfect masterpiece of literary greatness, it's like I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad book right now. And I think that what I need to do is, good is better than perfect. Finished is better than perfect. Perfect is the enemy of the good. So I think I need to just get this done, get it out, and move on to the next project. And whatever happens, happens. It's like maybe it's not going to be as good as it could have been. It might not be a Coyote winning or Ursa Major winning award, right? Winning book, and that's fine. It's like that sometimes matters to me, sometimes it doesn't, but it's like right now I just don't care. I just want to get this book done and hopefully have a couple of people that enjoy it. And maybe it's not going to be up to, New York Times bestseller standards, but it's like it doesn't really have to be, at least not for me. I just want it to be a good story that I enjoyed writing, that I hope people enjoy reading, and that's that. But for right now, I'm still working on that. For right now, I'm trying to finish the chapter that I was working on because, Winterfall is one of the series that I've actually planned the entirety of the 5 books, at least the first draft of it. There may be changes. I know there's a couple of things I want to tweak in Winterfall 2. Um, because of certain I don't know exactly, I'd call them weaknesses, but certain tendencies I have that were flagged to me by some of my note takers. Um, but we'll see. I'm trying to see if I can avoid them for Winterfall 3, just so that it is a little bit better. But ultimately, it is what it is. I just need to see what I can do and just try and get to a spot where I am more consistent, more a little less concerned about the whole don't worry about the fixing it now, fix it later kind of mentality. Um, Video news, I already kind of told you what I'm doing today. I'm doing a vlog and I'm doing a Battlestar Con report. And that'll probably be it for today. I will probably try and do some more stuff to next session. I'm getting close to working on some book reviews that I need to get started on, but that's going to take a month cycle to complete. Um, but I'm just working on producing videos as quickly as I can and trying to keep ahead of myself. And hopefully the holidays will help with that because I plan to do the Moody Gardens Iceland again this year. And I'm gonna take a coworker there who usually does lives in downstate, and partly it's because I want to play around with my new camera and see see the kind of pictures it takes there, and also I want to do some video there, and I just want to take my coworker. And it's the theme this year is like pole to pole, so I think it's kind of like when it was when I originally went the first time with my my last office, where we got to see all of this beautiful ice carvings. And it's like you've seen my videos of the last 2 times that I've done it. It's like you can see the kind of things that it's just really pretty. It's just really gorgeous, and it's something I would like to do, and I would like to show my coworker, who I don't think has ever been there because I don't think he's ever had the opportunity. And I would like to go both to mess around with my camera and to show my coworker and generally have a good time. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So that being said, that's something that's going to be upcoming. And of course, I'll usually probably shoot my video of our Christmas decorations and maybe a little bit of something about Christmas itself, and we'll see. um, let's see, books I'm reading. I'm closing in on the end of the books that I'm working on. Hopefully soon I will be ready to click on to the next one for each one. I might just start putting up a queue on my FA page just so y'all know what's coming. But I pre-apologize again to most of the authors that are waiting on me because I'm a slow reader, and especially lately, I just haven't had the spoons to read as much as as much as I was at the beginning of the year, because I've honestly needed more time to game and decompress just to keep functional. So that being said, I pre-apologize, but it's like I'm working on reading your stuff with the love and attention that it deserves. So I would rather, enjoy your book than just rush through what I'm reading and just kind of do that. But I hope to get up to a better speed of things when things normalize a little bit more. But that being said, I'm reading Star Trek Firewall, the Star Trek Picard book about Seven of Nine. joining the Fenris Rangers, and it's given me a lot of ideas, given me a lot of things that I kind of think I want to try and see if I can do something comparable. I don't really want to encourage cross contamination, but I kind of there's a couple of things that it's just like I really like the arc of this book, and I might have to see how it helps. If it helps me inspire me to do my own version, or at least some format, some pieces of it, elements. I don't know. Also, I'm working on finishing Return to Divalia, which, as always, Kill Gold knocks it out of the park. The man is very good at writing furry fiction. Usually, it's gay furry fiction, which, I mean, especially these days, I think we need more of. But we could use more of a lot of things, and not the least of which, trans characters, non-binary characters is just we need to normalize it. We need to get it out there, and anybody who writes it is definitely gets a thumbs up from me for that. Um, Now, as far as Return to Divalia, it's like I know I'm in Act 3. I guess maybe I'm getting close to Act 4. But I'm hoping to finish it relatively soon and get a review in progress in the pipeline on that. Probably the next review I'll be doing immediately is for the game The Changeling Tale, which I think I said I was going to do a while ago, but shit happens. And also I've been traveling and there's a lot of stuff. But as always, I try and produce content on a quasi-regular basis, and this will be one of those things because it's a good series that I have since started supporting on Patreon, or a good game, I should say. Really good experience, and at some point, it's like maybe I'll have the inclination to go through some of Clace's games again and take screenshots this time, because the first time I just didn't on either one. And maybe it was just because of transformation that I did this with the Changeling Tale, but I wanted kind of, if I do, you can expect a review for those games as well, because they were really good games, and I know that I kind of have dropped the ball very severely on the whole, Lawrence Gaming Corner, which really hasn't seen any updates since I was originally going to go through Trails of Cold Steel, and then it kind of didn't happen because I realized it was going to be so much more work than I had time for. But that being said, I do still want to do gaming-based videos at some point, even if it's just me reviewing games, talking about games, something like that. Maybe just highlighting game characters, anything like that. Just so that it's more, that I can generate content that you guys can enjoy, and just so that I can get as much positivity out there as I can, because that's what I want to try and promote, and that's what I try and promote. Positivity. It's like good stuff. It's like it's not. I always try and keep my reviews as positive as possible, even if it's a book I don't care for. I don't want to discourage anybody else from reading these books. It's like it's most, and maybe like from a Joy of Trek perspective, shout out to Kaki, K, and Greg. It's like they review Star Trek episodes where it's everybody loves this episode for a reason, and we're looking for positivity. And I think that's kind of really the whole vibe that we all need to go for right now. It's like more than anything, more than ever before, here's the positive stuff. So it's like I always, I want to put out as many furry book reviews as I can, because I know that there probably aren't that many compared to like the New York Times bestsellers or something. So if you have a furry book, if it catches my attention, I would love to read it. I know I have quite a few on my stack right now, like probably about 13. But I will get to them eventually. But I've got some more Royce Day's back catalog to go through. Love You to Pieces. I've got Utunu's second book, Far Flung, which is probably one of the ones closer to the top of the stack. I have Off the Beaten Path by Rukus, because I want to read some of their work. I have Maddie's Koheleth. Let's see, what do I have? I have Jay Stote's book that I can't remember the title of right now, but it was from the book series with the Starets. I may be mispronouncing that. If so, I apologize. Let's see, what else is there? Let's see, what else? I bought somebody else's book too. It's just like I really have more books than I can remember. Somebody suggested something like Moondust, I think it was. I still have to read that. I still wanted to reread the first Anita Blake vampire novel by Laurel K. Hamilton, which is probably going to wait for a while because it's been a while since I've read the series, but I do remember kind of liking it at the time, although I thought, of course, as I always do, that it needed more were creatures. Or at least more focus, less vampires, more were creatures, because I don't really usually do vampires. Let's see, and what else is there? It's like, oh yes, Tiberius Rings Come to Dust, which I am looking forward to, and if that goes well, I will read the other two. So, we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to all of it. It's like I really do want to read all of everybody's stuff, and I hope that eventually, I can have stuff out, more stuff out for you guys to read. It's it's being worked on. It's like at the very least, it's like I haven't gotten to the point in a long time where I felt like giving up, because I did that once. I did generally give up writing for a couple of years, and it was just one of those things where it's just I had reached the point where it was just like you know for a while anyway, it was like a weight was lifted because I made it a weight. And I made it something that was more of a burden than it was a joy. And I'm trying not to do that this time. I'm trying to work on keeping things positive, keeping it to the passion. It's like maybe it's not going to be logistically perfect. There may be a whole bunch of errors in it that people can point out or something. But it's like if it's something that I enjoy, that I write, that I like, so what? I mean, sometimes it's like there's at least one furry author I know that I don't really like a lot of what they do, but I did find joy in one of their pieces. And, at least in terms of a personal fulfillment viewpoint, if they enjoy doing it, then I don't want to put a damper on that. Um, Insofar as that is concerned, it's like if they enjoy doing it, go ahead and keep doing it as long as you can. And I say that to everybody who does art. It's like make art something that you enjoy. If it's something that it's not, find ways to make it fun. Do what you can do for you. Um, and I know this is getting a little long. This is like a 20-minute vlog that was probably intended to be like half that length. But the other thing I want to talk about is playing a couple of games right now, because I guess I'm kind of on a cat person kick. Because for some reason, and I don't know why, but video games always have like cat people, but they never have like zebra people. So what's up with that? I think at some point there was a video I was going to do about complaining about the lack of zebra characters in games. But that being said, I'm playing Dragon's Dogma 2, which I have never heard of this series before, but it saw it had a race of cat people, so it's like, okay, I'm playing this game. So, I've just started that, so I'm trying to play that. I still need to finish Last Horizon, or whatever it was, that Royce recommended to me, because it was one of those post-apocalyptic figure out the history backwards sort of things. And it's like I really did enjoy it, but I just got stuck. Or not stuck, but I just kind of like needed a break. And I don't know, I'll get back to it eventually. I'm sure I will, because it's a good series, and the story really did attract my attention. But it's a lot. But at some point, I suppose I'll have to. I don't know. It's like there's just like a million games to play, but I'm trying to do, joy. It's like play the games that I really want to play. And right now, that was Resident Evil 3 Remake, which I just finished again, and I forgot about how you could earn like extra things for the future playthroughs. So it's like I probably could have gotten another infinite ammo weapon, but I didn't do that because I didn't realize it, because it was at the bottom of the list. But that's my fault for not reading the whole thing. Um, and I'm also playing Final Fantasy XIV Online. I bought the expansion, so I'm trying to get back into that again. And also, I created a character on the Primal server for North America, and I selected Leviathan this time. I didn't realize that the first character was on Lamia. So, I thought Leviathan because I like Leviathan. But to tell you the truth, I don't know. It's like I was thinking I should have them both in the same server, but I might leave them on two different servers just so that I can play with more people. But to tell you the truth, the cat ears and tail didn't thrill me as much as actually being able to play a female cat girl, because before you could play a male cat person, but for some reason in order to play a female cat girl, you had to buy the expansion, which whatever, but well played, Square, or whatever. The only thing I will say in terms of complaining about Final Fantasy XIV Online is that they make a lot of things it's seemingly more complicated than it should have to be. It's like things that I do in other games without, with just a click or two. It's like it seems like it's a lot more complex to get set up, to get going, to get established in Final Fantasy XIV. But that being said, I will probably be playing more frequently on that game, or at least try to play it on a regular basis, because I really do need to play some more of these online games more. Anybody who knows me knows I'm like living on STO a lot of the times. But I also like to play ESO because, again, I can play cat people. And then we have, let's see, what is it? Star Wars: The Old Republic, which I just the game bullied me into logging on again because it was just like, hey, we're gonna give away your character name or whatever if you don't sign in. So it's like I signed in. I really should play it more, but again, this is like a whole other thing because there's like 5 online games that I want to play. Fallout 76, I need to play some more. It's finding time slots to play all these games because I only have so much time, and I only have so much time I can spend on gaming, and I do want to spend playtime on consoles. I do want to spend time on my regular non-online games. So, but anyway, that's that. And at some point, for at least for the foreseeable future, this might be at least a little bit of portion of a gaming topic on the vlog, just so that I can talk about some games that I'm playing and what's going on in terms of that. But I guess the last thing is that I do intend to release a story on Patreon and then in public, and maybe at some point submit some stuff to Voice of Dog again, because I really do need to do that again. I just have it's just a matter of time and also the will and making myself do things, because there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things I'm afraid of, that it's just like letting things out there, and then just like because sometimes getting critique has hit me pretty hard, and I'm trying to not let that bother me inherently, just because you're going to get critique one way or the other. And I've had people, authors that I think are way better than I am, that have gotten critique that has hurt. So it's not unique to me, and I know that. And also, it's just I got to be at the point where I can just do things and tell with the consequences, at least insofar as like releasing some of my art, because you know that's art makes a difference when it affects people, and it's not going to affect people if it's just sitting on my hard drive and I never do anything with it. So much like I once started releasing vlogs and videos, is like there was a time when I wouldn't show my face on YouTube. There was a time when I was afraid to even turn on the camera, because it was just like, the vulnerability of putting yourself out there. But I don't really have the luxury of not doing that anymore. And also, one of those things is like the more you do it, the less afraid you become of it. So, this is a little bit of my trying to put some positivity out in the world, and also a little bit of me trying to get some of what I have in here out there for all of you to hopefully enjoy, and hopefully share. And we'll see where we end up, because it's like I'm just trying to make the world a little better, just for its own sake, not because I expect anything out of it or something, but just because I think it's the thing we should all do these days, especially now. So that being said, look for videos, look for stories, look for my writing, and it's all coming sooner or later. So I will catch y'all in 2 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving.
If you like werewolves, check out my book Blue Moon, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!